That's why. How do I flip this switch? Woo, woo, woo. I'm beat. I just did another great workout with Lily Ray, my 15-year-old daughter. And I just felt emotional. For some reason, I was looking at her at the gym today. She's been working out with me for about 2 years now. But since we started doing ER Shred, which was about 11 months ago, Lily, she just followed suit. And Lily, her diet is phenomenal. She doesn't drink any soda. She doesn't eat any of those bad carbohydrates. She doesn't eat any of the desserts. She is so amazing, rock solid. And the cool thing that I'm starting to see in her, I don't know if you guys remember that age, but at that age, your body can be pretty stubborn. And I can share this to my group. That's cool. Hold on. Your body can be stubborn. And the dilemma that you've got is that kids don't have a lot of patience. You've heard of the marshmallow experiment where they give kids a marshmallow. And they say, hey, if you don't eat this for 10 minutes, I'll give you another marshmallow. And the majority of kids, they can't wait, and they just eat that first marshmallow. And they've done studies, they've tracked these children, and the children who have the ability to say, well, I'll wait and get not that the marshmallow is good for you. Goodness gracious, it's not. But the people that can wait, they actually become far more successful in life. And so my daughter, more recently, her body's starting to change, and you're starting to see cuts in the legs and cuts in the shoulders, cuts in the biceps, the triceps. Phenomenal. Just so exciting. And she works out so hard. But if she was an impatient person, if she didn't surrender to the transformational process, it does take time, and it's harder for women. It's harder for women genetically. They're built different. They're built to carry babies. They're built to carry more calories. They're built to carry more fat. Like, we know this. This is scientific. This is true. And so women have to work even, not that it's harder, but it is a little harder, actually. It's a little harder because it takes more patience. And they're comparing themselves to men, and they're going, what the hell? Like, why is he dropping weight so fast? Why is he transforming so fast? And so for that reason, I have even more respect for women who devote themselves to being well and being fit. My kids have really taken notice of the changes that Crystal and I have made over the last 11 months. All of my children, we have cut out, like, they don't drink soda. My kids we don't buy all the sweets anymore. We don't buy all the cookies and the crackers and the chips. Like, I'm so amazed at the changes that have happened at our home. And what I'm really amazed about is that we haven't forced it upon the kids. It's happened very naturally. And the children, even my 7-year-old, even my 9-year-old, they are on board. They want to be healthy. They want to eat like mom and dad. They want to improve. And they'll say things all the time. I want to be strong. I want to look strong. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. And they say it, and it's so cute. It's adorable. And to see that even at that age, kids can learn willpower. You might say to yourself, well, they're kids, so they can get away with it. But are they really getting away with it, or are we setting them up for a lifetime of having to battle with these horrible addictions to sweets and carbs, things that are ultimately going to harm us badly over time? You can take back control. Inspire your children by going first. Set that example for your kids. If you've got kids and you're concerned about their well-being, I've got to tell you, a lot of the problems that we're faced with our children is born of diet. A lot of the mental problems, a lot of the emotional problems, a lot of the self-esteem issues, I would say in large part is born of their diet. If they are exercising and they're not seeing any kind of changes, that also is born oftentimes of diet. You've got to dial the diet in, and then the body responds. You can't outwork a horrible diet. You can't do it. And so many of us have had to learn that the hard way. Even myself, I had to learn that the hard way. So I just want to encourage you guys, get a hold of those kids. Get them outside. Work out with them, even if it's only going for a walk every day. With them, 30 minutes, and talk. And this is bonding time. Get them off those devices. Okay, my wife, I love you, Crystal. Thank you for cracking down this summer and saying, these are the times you can have your devices, and this is the large chunk of time that you will go without devices. And this is essential. If you guys haven't seen that documentary where they talk about what's happening to our children are becoming entertainment addicted. They're addicted to getting entertained. And what you don't realize is that, look at that Social Dilemma. It's a documentary. If you haven't seen it, watch The Social Dilemma. I think it's on Netflix. And you'll learn that these guys are tracking every move your children make online, these marketers. And they actually know what stimulates brain hormones. They know what your children is interested in. They know how to grab their attention. They know how to hold their attention. It should be criminal and it should be outlawed what they're doing to our children, because they get them and the kids can't get off those electronics. It's not just because your kid's lazy. It's not just because your kid is entertained. It's because these marketers are criminal. They're criminal. They should be arrested, and all they care about is money. Well, you have to be the caregiver of that child. You have to be the steward. You have to be the one that says, hey, let's watch this documentary together. And then you have to be the one that says, let's do this together. Let's get more active. Let's get outside. Let's leave the phones. Let's bury the phones. Let's go for a walk. Let's go get out in nature. Let's go see how close we can get to a wild animal. A lot of these kids don't go outside ever. Get their bare feet on the ground. Get them doing yoga with you. Get them doing all kinds of things with you. And I think you'll find that you can build upon that. And that's what we found, is that you can build upon little incremental wins. And next thing you know, like with Lily, I'm blown away by this girl. I'm blown away. Her legs are as strong as my legs. And and she makes me work out legs. Like, I hate doing legs. So I was always one of those guys. I got away with it more because I naturally, from my mom's side, German background, I've had, big legs. I don't have to work them out that hard, and they stay somewhat pretty good. But Lily, she makes me do legs twice a week, and I've done it now for months, and I'm so grateful to her. Because I want to be balanced, and I want to do hard things. I want to do things I don't want to do. But Lily, thank you. And wow, Lily is so strong. I'm so proud of my daughter. I'm just so damn proud of her. She wakes up 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock during the school year to work out before school. Like, that's amazing, guys. Thanks, Warren. Appreciate you. She's amazing. And our kids really do just need a start. When I hear about these kids and I hear about children who are suffering in all manner of ways, they're suffering health crisis. And I know it's the diet. Guys, ER Shred is so simple. It just basically spells out to you, guys, we're killing ourselves. We're killing ourselves. We're killing ourselves with a knife and a fork, and the food that we're eating is dead food in cardboard coffins. It's not real food. It's not. And so what you want to do is start having your child eat whole foods and get them satiated to the point. I've noticed something. If we wake up early and I feed my children either an incubated shake, or I feed them, like a nice breakfast with eggs and bacon and pot roast, what happens? They're great throughout the day, and they're sustained, and they're not whiny, and they're not, of course it could be from time to time depending on the circumstance, but there's a difference. If you feed them cereal, if you feed them, grains in the morning, if you feed them toast, you are doing your children the most incredible disservice ever. You're doing that to your child, and you don't even know it. If you're giving them muffins, croissants, donuts, you are doing your children an incredible disservice. Now, I know you love your children, and I would never insinuate that you don't love your children, but this is really, really important. If we're going to start changing the world, if we're going to start changing the world for the better, then it starts with our children, doesn't it? Who's going to inherit the earth? It's our children. But if our children are chronically addicted to foods that are ultimately hurting them and killing them and setting them back, and it's such a disadvantage. And then on top of that, we've allowed them, we have to own that we have surrendered our stewardship of our children by allowing them to be chronically addicted to video games and digital media, social media, and we have surrendered that, haven't we? And why do we do it? It's because it's convenient. It's because they whine, they kick, they scream. We don't want to discipline them. We don't want to have parameters. We don't want to have structure. It's too hard. We don't want to do the hard things. But we have got to all be doing the hard things out of love. If you love a child, don't let them get to a point where they're obese and they're hurting on the inside. Now, you might say, well, this modern age, we really embrace all body types, da-da-da-da-da. They're still going to get teased at school. They're still going to look in the mirror and feel sorry for themselves. They're still going to be frustrated. And you can sit there and you can say all day long, if you want, that no, like we just need to evolve as a society and we need to accept everyone. Okay, but do you want your kid to live past 50? Do you? The 50s. Like, parents' greatest fear is that they'll outlive their children. And that's what's going to be happening. In fact, they say that these next few generations will be the first generations where parents actually do outlive their children. Isn't that sad? But you could make a difference in your own home with your own children. I wish I could have everybody in the whole world see this, because it's little tiny simple things that can make the biggest difference for your children. If your children's having any emotional issues, if your children's having any mental issues, if your children is having any kind of self-esteem issues, behavioral issues, cognitive issues, look at their diet. Take a look. I'm not saying that ER Shred is about curing such things. It's not about that, because ER Shred is not a product per se. All ER Shred is a protocol to get people off all the things that are hurting them. It's what's hurting them that's the problem. You've got to get off all of the bad things. But how do you do it? The only way you can do it is to satiate. And that's what we teach people how to do, is to satiate with real nutrition, balanced whole food nutrition. Guys, I love children so much. Children, oh my gosh, children are the best. And it breaks my heart when I see children hurting. You might see a smile on their face when you give them that big, soda pop. You might see a smile on their face when they, just passed a level on Roblox or Minecraft or what have you. You might see that smile, but there's something you're not seeing, and you can't keep doing it. Last thing I'll end with, do what is hard. Your life will be easy. Do what is hard, and sit down with your child and say, out of love for you, we're going to have some parameters, and they're going to resist you. And they're going to say, no, I want that phone. No, I want that video game. No, I want that cupcake. I want that. I want my French fries. I want my fast food. I want it. 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 And they're going to press so hard And you're going to tell yourself, I just want to give them what they want because I love them. Do it as hard, and your life and their life will be easier. Don't give in. Be strong. Not to the point where you're like a militant dictator that your children hate. Do it out of love and start with small incremental steps and say you are going to find some holistic wellness in your life. And if you want to be truly inherently happy, steady, not the big spikes, the big highs and the big lows. If you want to have joy, if you want to have contentment, if you want to have, in this world of chaos and distraction and discouragement and frustration and confusion, we have got to be well in order to cope. This world is a mess the last year and a half, 2 years. This world is a mess. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. So we have to get better at a ground level, each of us. And as we do that, each of us in our own sphere, it will elevate politics. It will elevate social issues. It will elevate, everything you could think of. Race issues, gender gaps. I'm telling you right now, if we could get well, everything changes. And I know this based on experience. Bob is on this live. Bob knows what I'm talking about. Charlene is on this live. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. If we could get well and get the mind right and get the hormones balanced and get the emotions balanced, guys, it's pretty amazing what can happen on all other levels. Do it for your children and bring them along with you, would you? Please, because you love your children. That's one thing I know. You love your children more than I love them. You love your children more than I love your children. I'm not going to do it for them. You've got to do it for them. And I challenge you to do that in love and for their good and for your well-being as well. Let's all do that together, okay? All right. Don't say it from a place of I'm better than you. I don't say it from a place of self-righteousness or judgment. I say it because the world has done things to us that are cruel. And the media and the promoters and the marketers have done things to us that should be criminal. Very criminal. The marketing tactics. The things they write on those boxes to make you think they're healthy. The things that the tricks that they play to make you think that they can get. You think all these professional athletes eat fast food and soda pop like they market to our children? It's criminal. Shouldn't be allowed. And yet it's done. That's all I'll say. It's very much a very passionate thing for me. If all that came from everything we've been doing was people taking it serious, let's do that. Let's take it serious. Would you leave a $100 bill outside on your driveway? Would you? Kind of value that $100 bill, don't you? What's your child worth, man? What's your child worth? You taking care of them like you would that $100 bill? How much care are you taking? Sounds self-righteous? Man, I know how much you love those kids, though. You got to start thinking about that.